Actually, everyone around me was like on board with it because like I know I could handle it. I think it was more just like on the mental side, like being there a lot of times, like mentally being on the site all the time can be like
Hmm.
tiring. No, they were really encouraging because they knew it was something I wanted to do, and I was like, you know, I mean, I'm young now, but I know eventually, I'm not going to be able to be playing doubles and singles and all of that. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of it.
Coco Gauff has started her own management company, Coco Gauff Enterprises, which is the largest power move of her career. However, not everyone is excited about it, particularly Aryna Sabalenka. Let's just assume that when the news broke, the Belarusian celebrity didn't hold back. I have a question for you. Was Sabalenka's response genuine annoyance, or was it just jealousy? It has finally happened, tennis aficionados. Coco Gauff has formally entered the group of athletes who have had enough of allowing other people manage their brand. She is now managing her own business after leaving Roger Federer's Squad 8. It's audacious, surprising, and evidently driving Aryna Sabalenka insane. Now, let's set the scene before we discuss Sabalenka's response. The announcement from Coco Gauff was unexpected. One straightforward post with no teases or press leaks. An amazing new age has begun. I want to take more responsibility for my career as I develop as an athlete, business owner, and change agent. In essence, a 21-year-old is declaring, I'm the boss now.
Coco Gauff is taking her career in a new direction, leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and joining up with entertainment moguls WME. And she has launched Coco Gauff Enterprises.
To be honest, some players find that kind of confidence offensive, particularly when it comes from someone who is not only dominating on the court but also making her own business decisions. Let's just say that Aryna Sabalenka's response wasn't exactly one of congratulations. When asked about Gauff's new endeavor during practice at the Cincinnati Open, Sabalenka was reportedly clearly irritated, according to reports from player circles. She shrugged, rolled her eyes, and mumbled something like, good for her, I guess. These days, everyone aspires to be a CEO. Oh no. Since Gauff began making headlines both on and off the court, Sabalenka has been tense, and that one remark sums it up well. Do you recall the controversy at the French Open, the defeat, her outburst after the game, and her remark that Gauff wasn't performing very well? Yes, that didn't hold up over time. Let's fast forward a few months. Coco is creating an empire in addition to winning titles. After that defeat, Sabalenka is still attempting to persuade people that she didn't mean what she said.
Was just making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls.
It's difficult not to understand why this announcement caused a stir. Gauff's decision to start her own management firm at the age of 21 represents a significant change in power. She now controls her future, her deals, and her brand. Most athletes don't receive that until they retire, if at all. Sabalenka, a 26-year-old player who is among the best in the world, still has contracts and image management handled by others. You can certainly picture how that would feel. This is where things start to get hot. According to people close to Sabalenka, she has been complaining in private that Coco is receiving too much attention for business decisions rather than tennis, which is amusing because it is precisely what Coco wants. To rethink what it means to be an athlete.
Yeah, so the extension with me kind of started in the whole campaign with the doubters. It obviously started with my speech at US Open where I mentioned, allowing doubters to fuel me to do better. And I kind of realized that a lot of things that are told to small business owners are also things that are told to athletes and me specifically, whereas
Yeah.
like I've heard a lot that I'm too young, or that I should just focus on tennis, or you shouldn't do multiple things at once.
For her, winning awards isn't the only measure of success. It has to do with managing your legacy. And that's the reason Sabalenka is going insane. Because witnessing a younger competitor become both a champion and a financial tycoon may be painful for someone whose reputation has been established on unadulterated passion and athletic prowess. After practice, Sabalenka reportedly yelled to her team, stating, "Everyone acts like Coco invented independence," according to one insider. Everybody makes their own decisions. Yes, Aryna, but let's face it, picking a sponsor and starting your own agency from the ground up are very different. The rules for golf were recently revised. And for that reason, this goes much beyond tennis drama. This relates to how sports culture is evolving. These days, athletes are more than simply athletes. They are prominent figures with genuine impact, brands, and entrepreneurs. That evolution includes Coco's move. However, Sabalenka feels as though she is losing control of the limelight. Because not too long ago, Aryna was the one creating headlines, winning grand slams, making daring remarks, and displaying emotion while playing. Fans were talking about her. These days, Coco Gauff appears in every headline. And it's difficult to accept, particularly when the comparisons begin to come in. Coco, who is 21 years old, has already won a Grand Slam, amassed a following throughout the world, and started her own business. Even though Sabalenka is older and more seasoned, it still feels like she is responding rather than taking the initiative. The media, fans, and probably Sabalenka all take notice. A reporter casually inquired about Coco's feelings regarding her new business endeavor during her most recent interview. "I'm focused on my own career," she remarked with that tight, courteous smile that athletes offer when they're trying not to blow up. "I'm not here to launch a business. My goal is to succeed." Doesn't that sound like a jab? It would be equivalent to saying, "Good luck running your business while I collect trophies." In actuality, though, they are both succeeding in different ways. Coco is taking a long-term approach. She is aware that gripping a racket won't last forever. She is therefore building something now rather than waiting until retirement. She is intelligent because of this. Sabalenka is in combat mode in the meantime. She wants the respect, attention, and power she believes she has earned. To be fair, she has made a lot of money. However, the issue is that Coco Gauff's narrative is currently more compelling. She is relatable, young, articulate, and astute in business. Essentially everything that attracts sponsors. And that's what's causing Aryna to become agitated. Some players feel overshadowed by the Coco Gauff impact, according to WTA sources. She is said to be everywhere. Advertisements, interviews, social causes, and now business gatherings. The rest of them, however, are still stuck responding to the same old queries concerning training schedules and rankings. Therefore, it's easy to trust Sabalenka when she says she's sick of hearing Coco's name. This is where it becomes ironic, though. Coco's shadow gets bigger the more Sabalenka whines. Every caustic remark becomes a new headline. Sabalenka makes fun of Gauff. Sabalenka is annoyed by Coco's notoriety. Sabalenka responds to Coco's commercial action. She is actually promoting the story that she despises. That's what makes it so beautiful. Coco doesn't even need to answer. Sabalenka can't compete with her, so she simply grins, shares a motivating remark, and resumes growing her empire. Command. Coco is in charge of the narrative. Sabalenka simply responds to it. And that's what sets icons apart in today's sports. This is where it gets humorous. Aryna Sabalenka was never ever brought up by Coco Gauff. Never once. Not in subtle shadow, not in postings, not in interviews, nothing. Nevertheless, Sabalenka is behaving as though she has just been attacked personally. It seems as though Coco's silence speaks louder than words. And it's obvious that Aryna is more bothered by that quiet than anything else. Coco's actions speak louder than words. She is ahead without having to express it. She simply demonstrates it. To be fair, some admirers believe that Sabaleenka's annoyance goes beyond simple envy. They think it's pressure. She has been attempting to present herself as one of the major figures in the WTA. Fierce, passionate, and powerful. However, the emphasis has now completely changed. People only discuss how she responds to Coco Gauff, rather than her strong serves. And that wears you out. Imagine dedicating your whole professional life to earning recognition for your skills, only to have every press conference devolve into a Coco question. The attitude is almost understandable. Nearly. Here's the issue, though. Sabalenka continues to exacerbate her situation. Every snide remark, every moment of indifference. She appears more insecure as a result. Coco is out here signing contracts and stacking victories in the meanwhile. Instead of working louder, she is working more intelligently. Do you know whether anyone else saw that? The sponsors. Because companies adore people who are self-assured, composed, and competent. Coco Aryna is that. She is the complete opposite. Erratic, intense, and prone to uttering regrettable things. For headlines, that's fantastic, but not in boardrooms. Thus, Gauff established her agency, a business that actually manages brand relationships. You can only imagine what the rest of the tour thought about that. It serves as a reminder of who is in charge in addition to being a sign of achievement. According to reports, Gauff received individual congratulations from players like Egentek, who expressed how motivating it was to see her assume leadership at such a young age. Guess who didn't? Yes, Sabalenka. Not a single word of encouragement from the public. And for tennis fans, that stillness said it all because, although these players may smile for the cameras, there is a cold war of perception and public relations going on behind the scenes. Every action is about the image. Each post is computed. Every quotation has the power to change the top person's reputation as well as their ranking. Additionally, Coco Gauff has an impeccable reputation at the moment. Remember that at the age of 15, this player became the youngest qualifier in Wimbledon history. After defeating Venus Williams in her first big match, she became an international celebrity almost immediately. However, she learned how to manage her popularity rather than allowing it to control her. Sabalenka is driven insane by the rarity of that. Coco's authority. Because Coco lives in peace, whereas Aryna thrives in chaos. Although Sabalenka's emotions motivate her, they also highlight her flaws. When something goes wrong, she blows up. She computes, Coco. She is now applying the same mentality off the court. Consider this. Coco is really holding meetings about her business, while Sabalenka is attempting to prove herself to reporters. It's not a competition. That is dominance in a whole different context. If Coco Gauff is able to manage her own agency, what prevents other athletes from doing the same? You can guarantee the WTA took notice. When you can recruit your own staff and have complete control over your finances, why rely on corporate management? That is what Coco is constructing for the future. And Sabalenka and others are afraid of that. Because power is at stake here, not simply tennis. It's in golf. Sabalenka desires it. However, their approach to pursuing it is quite different. Sabalenka has a strong stroke both on and off the court. She is impulsive, passionate, and full of fire. Coco is meticulous, patient, and well-prepared. One grows slowly, while the other burns quickly. And ultimately, that's what separates fleeting celebrity from enduring legacy. Coco's perspective goes beyond awards. She is considering ownership, business, influence, and the kind of power that superstars like Serena and LeBron use to establish their empires. She doesn't want to become a mogul by waiting for her profession to expire. While she is still winning, she is beginning. Because of this technique was extremely effective in women's tennis. Because someone is genuinely defying the conventional norm for the first time in years, fans are referring to it as a power shift. Perfection and safety were the cornerstones of Federer's Team 8. Perfect PR, safe decisions, and a polished press. Coco is an authentic, straightforward, and fearless role model. Now that she has her own brand, she is not seeking approval. Sabalenka is free to continue making fun of it at this point. But since Coco is playing chess while everyone else is still fighting over checkers, she feels in her heart that it's a clever move. The best part is that Coco doesn't even have to clap back. The clapback is what makes her successful. She doesn't have to prevail in the dispute. The room is already hers. Coco Gauff has become a symbol of the transformation taking place in the tennis world. Greetings to her. Do you believe that Aryna Sabalenka's response was motivated by jealousy over Coco's next-level business move, or was it just natural frustration? Please share your comments with me below. In order to ensure that you don't miss the next breakdown, please hit the like, subscribe, and turn on buttons. Do of this competition, it's only getting.